Hi everybody, it's Paul Weber here in the first of my series of one story, one song, and one video. And tonight it's going to be The Great Fire of 1870, one of the songs off my new album, The Ode to Jerry Barber. I'll tell you the story of this particular song. It's about a fire that started out near Almonte, which is a small town outside of Ottawa where I live. And there were some railroad workers who were building a train track, and they decided they had to burn some brush, so they started a small fire, but it was a windy day and it had been very dry in the Ottawa Valley for quite a while, so the fire caught and it spread quite rapidly, at times being 10 miles wide, 20 miles deep. People were running, jumping into wells to save themselves down to the water. They would run in green fields, they'd lie down. And the fire burned for days and days and got closer and closer to Ottawa, where I live. Yeah, not at the time, of course, but as it got closer, the sky got smokier and smokier, and refugees were pouring into the city until at noon the sky was black. It was so dark. And it was then that a group of mill workers decided to go down to what is today Dow's Lake in Ottawa. And they broke a dam called the St. Louis Dam, and that created a little channel of water from Dow's Lake all the way to the Ottawa River that was 900 feet wide. In fact, there's stories of people swimming at the last minute across the water to save themselves, and that effectively saved Ottawa from burning down at the time. So I got a lot of the inspiration for this song from this book called The Ottawa Valley's Great Fire of 1870 by Terence Curry, which you can get out of the library, at least here in Ottawa, if you're interested. It's a great book, and it tells an amazing story of this fire, which I knew nothing about until I, quite by accident, visiting a friend, picked up that book and read the story. So that is kind of the story of the Great Fire. Now the video that I'm going to play as I'm performing the song actually has three different parts to it. One of them is a music video that I made with a fellow named North Easton and my trio with Marie Soleil-Fecteau and Rob Lethbridge. And we recorded this up at a friend's house who lives actually on the Burnt Lands, which is an area near Almonte where the fire started. And also, I went back there another time with a guy named Kevin Stay, and we did some drone footage of this whole area called the Burnt Lands, and I've used that as well. And lastly, some footage from an actual fire that I started out in Almonte, burned down like an entire, it's footage from a big fire in northern Ontario that I ripped off the Discovery Channel. So there you go. So that is the story of the video, and now we're going to do the song for you. Here we go. I was playing in the gully with my little sister Mary when we heard church bells ringing on the summer breeze. Then my daddy came a-running. He says, son, there's a big fire coming. Then he put his hands on my shoulders and he said to me, you take yourselves down to the river, and in its water you hide, and I pray it will deliver you from the great fire. So take your sister to the landing, let there be an understanding. There's no time for explanations or goodbyes. I'm a-going back to the house now. I got some food and I grabbed the old sow. And as he turned to run, he said one last time, you take yourselves down to the river, and in its water you hide, and I pray it will deliver you from the great fight. I heard it was 10 miles wide, was nothing gonna stop it, and the winds blew high. Could no one outrun it when my father's words ringing in my ears as we ran down to the river with the fire on our heels. Yeah. The great fight took my father, he never made it to the water, and I still see him running through the haze. And every Sunday morning, near the place where he was born, we kneel down in the burnt lands and hear him say, you take your sails down to the river, and in its water you hide, and I pray it will deliver you from the great fight. There you go. The Great Fire of 1870, tonight's one story, one video, one song. Join me next week for another song, another story, another video, and you can check out my music at www.paulweber.ca. That's Weber with one B. Thanks a lot, everybody. See you next time.